What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Just Beer. Alright, today we're going to be going over the UKeg from Growler Works. Now, if you are a fan of growlers, then this is for you. Not only is it just a growler, but as you can see, there's a lot of other things going on. We have a tap, pressure gauge, you have the dial to allow you to change the pressure, and then you have CO2 sleeve. This is where you're going to put the CO2 cartridge once you fill everything up. So I'm going to show you how everything works. Starting out, now you can get this filled up at a brewery or anywhere that does growler fills, or you could also do it with a 6-pack, whatever beer you have lying around, your own home brew as well. I could go a little bit more into depth with that after we get done filling this up. Awesome. The UKeg is full, so it's time to put on the cartridge with the CO2 already installed into it. All you do for that is you just put the CO2 cartridge into the sleeve, and then you screw it into the dial up top. Once that's done, this whole thing gets screwed in. It's a little full. No big deal. All right, and now we set our PSI inside of the tank. And we do that with the dial up on top. We're just going to rotate, and on the gauge down below, we're going to set this to about 7 PSI. Now in the book that comes with the UKeg, it gives you a guide for what the PSI should be per the beer you're putting in. It says for a stout porter, be about 3 to 6 PSI. Amber ales, 5 to 8. IPAs, 7 to 10, lagers or pilsners, 9 to 12. You could even put sparkling wine and sodas inside of this, and that's going to be the highest PSI settings that it has. Now, that's the recommended settings, but I usually keep the beer around 5 PSI because I don't want too much pressure as I'm pouring the beer from the tap. It just creates too much of a head and too much of a problem for me. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to about 5 PSI. Boom. We're there. Okay, now the beer's ready to be dispensed. And all you do, flip the tap forward, and you got beer. It's awesome. Now, why this is so awesome for a keg or a growler is the fact that you get a growler from a brewery. If you don't drink it in 1 to 2 days, that beer is going to go flat. The fact that this has a pressure gauge with the CO2 cartridge, it allows that beer to stay fresher longer. If I'm not going to have a beer for a couple weeks, I could just set the CO2 a little bit higher, and it's going to force carbonate that beer to stay carbonated the entire time, which is awesome. So no more flat beers inside of your growlers. This also means that for any homebrewers out there, you could use this to force carbonate your beer. To do that, you're going to set the PSI a lot higher. I'd probably set it to about the 15 range, and I'm going to leave it for about a week. And then once the beer's been force carbonated, I'm going to dial that back a little bit and set it to around the 5 to 7 PSI. And then your beer's going to be carbonated, and it's going to be ready to go. Cleanup with this is not really difficult at all. I like to use that CO2 cartridge to purge the entire system out. The CO2 cartridge is going to have just a little bit left of the CO2. I use that to help me clean it. Instead of just letting all the gas escape from the cartridge, I'll set the dial back down to 0 so nothing's going to escape once I pop the cap. Then I will put fresh or soapy water into the UKeg, turn the pressure back up or the dial back up, and allow that water to purge out the entire system to keep your UKeg clean. All in all, the UKeg is a great growler or mini keg. It's a little pricey right now. You can find them on Amazon for about $180 for this size. This is the 74 ounce. Also comes in the 128 ounce, which is going to be a little bit pricier. But for that price, you get a whole lot. You're getting an insulated growler that allows you to keep it cold and carbonated for however long you're going to have the beer in there, whether it's a day or a week. It really doesn't matter. It's going to stay fresh. It's going to stay good. So I would totally recommend this product. Looks great, and it does the job well. If you want to see more videos of reviewing beer products like this, go ahead and hit the like button or leave a comment down below. Until then,